When I was a boy, I recall a time when my mother and I had come home from church, and she went to our pantry and she began to fill a box with food. And I asked her what she was doing, and she said, well, I met a family that needed some help at church. And I remember thinking, but Mom, this is our food. And you see, we grew up in extreme poverty, and I began to debate with her and say, but this is our food. What are we going to eat? After I realized she wasn't going to give that up, I began to then negotiate with her and say, well, if you're going to give food, maybe you should give the stuff we don't eat, things like cream mushroom and other things I didn't like. And almost instinctively, she reaches for the Chef Boyardee. And I remember thinking, not the Chef Boyardee. That was my favorite stuff. And then she said this, she said, when you serve, and we should serve, and we should give, you give your best. You give your absolute best. And that lesson has stayed with me. Now, Jesus builds on this idea of giving your best when he tells the story of the Good Samaritan, the story of a man who was beaten and left for dead, and how another individual responded to that man's need. He took his clothes and we gave him to this individual and took him to a hotel and took care of him and even made payments so that others might do so for the long haul. And the Bible is really specific about saying how this individual, the Good Samaritan, gave his very best. So the research on volunteerism and serving is actually pretty solid. I think it's one of the reasons why Jesus spent so much time emphasizing that part of his story. The research says that human beings tend to build stronger relationships and they become physically healthier. Our outlook in life gets better. We get less depressed. Some research even goes as far to say that we live longer. Extraordinary benefits simply because we decide that we're going to love our neighbors. So this week we're going to ask you to do 3 things. First, get off the couch. Start serving. Don't wait until somebody gives you an opportunity. Go look for it. Secondly, share your journey on social media. Inspire others to do the same. And finally, when you do give, reach for the Chef Boyardee. Bring your best and make a difference in the lives of the people that you are called to serve.